What's up, everyone? This is Devin, LaVore, and I wanted to share something with you today. A little secret, you might call, that I have, and it's that I see dead people. Okay, I'm just kidding. I really don't see dead people. But you guys remember that movie, right? Sixth Sense, where he had this special ability to see things that were beyond normal people's sight, beyond normal people's experience. Now that is true. That's kind of what I want to talk about today, and the fact that I have always had this ability to pick up on things that are going on in the spiritual realm. I've always had that ability. I never understood it. I'm pretty sure one of my kids has that ability, and she definitely does not understand it. And I'm listening to the Lord. I'm trying to be sensitive to the Lord and to know how to instruct her and how to, train her up in it, because I had no training in it. At least she's got me who knows what it's like. And this ability goes like this. You can meet people and you immediately can sense maybe the spirit that they are of. Now, I'm not just talking about demonic spirit. That is a big deal, and actually, honestly, that's more prevalent than the good stuff. But you find good stuff too. You meet somebody that's got a spirit about them that's a spirit of worship, and just I've got tons of stories that I can lay down on that, right? But you know what is like more scary than having to deal with that, because that is a scary thing when you're sensing these things about people, or you go into a situation and you sense like what's going on. I mean, you just know what's going on. Some people might call that a prophetic gift, a gift of discernment and all that. I think they're all in the same. They're all part of a combo package deal of God's another purpose and calling that God has on my life to be able to deal with spiritual things. But it can be really, really scary. But what is even more scary and really more heartbreaking than anything is dealing with ghosts that are still alive. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean broken, severed relationships, Broken, severed relationships are the kind that they end badly, they end poorly, they don't want to have anything to do with you or reconciling or dealing with the issue. Or, that's one kind of broken and severed relationship. Or you have the kind of relationships that aren't necessarily broken, but they are minimized to a degree that's very painful. To where you might have a best friend for a season, and then they go off to college, and then you go off to college somewhere, and you guys are just not chilling anymore, you're not talking anymore. Or you have a best friend who gets married and you're still single. That relationship completely changes. So any kind of relationship that goes through like some sort of major change, but you still have this heartfelt, deep love for them, but maybe they don't have it for you. They're not really wanting to kick it with you anymore. They don't feel the same way about you anymore. They're not as touched deeply by the awesomeness of your relationship, or at least what it was, anymore. What does it feel like? It feels like you're living with a ghost. You see that person, but you can't touch them. What's a ghost like? A ghost in the movies, they're like ethereal. You can reach out your hand and grab them, but you can't like bring them close to you. Your hands go through them. You can talk to them, but it's like they're not really there. You know what I mean? And so it's like, wow, you watch these ghost movies and these ghost stories, and you go, wow, you know what? That really happens in real life. It's called broken relationships. It's called, what I've just been talking about severed relationships, and how relationships move on without you, and they just don't want to have anything to do with you, or they can't, or their life changes. Or here's even the worst part for me personally, is when God steps into the picture and he kind of separates the relationship, and it's like, wow, that's just awful. Like, that means this is your fault, So I guess this video is more focused towards those people who have felt what I felt, And that heartbreak, that sense of like, man, this is terrible. Those for people who really, really love deeply and feel deeply about the people that they've connected with in their life, that deep, intimate connection is not there anymore. You feel like they are a ghost. You don't know how to relate to them anymore. And the way you do relate to them is just so different. It's like you're having to relate to a completely different person now. How do you deal with that? Well, for us as believers, we just have to go to God and continually submit ourselves to God. Like the scripture says, pour out your heart to God. You just kind of have to throw yourself on the couch of God and weep or do whatever you have to do. But what you've got to do is keep moving. You can't let heartbreak cause you to just lounge and linger and just sulk or anything like that. Yes, there's a time to mourn, and it can be a mourning time because there's a death that took place. You can't just have a death take place and go, oh well, the relationship died, I'm gonna move on. You know, I've had to separate from a church. I've had to separate from from organizations. I've had to separate from people. You know, 44 years old. I've got plenty of experience in different kinds of relational separations. I got the Baskin Robbins 31 flavors of separations. So I know about relational separation. Like I said in my intro video to this whole channel, like I've moved 70 plus times. I've lived in like 9 states or 11. I can't even remember anymore. I mean, I've met like millions of people. I've been in close, intimate relationship with like lots of people throughout my life. And it's something I've never gotten used to, having to separate. Sometimes the separation is messy and it's bad. Sometimes it's okay. But it never feels good. Particularly for those relationships that you have to continually see after the separation has happened. You know, I guess that's probably the way a breakup would be. You know, I grew up, I never had girlfriends. You know, I almost married the wrong girl. I did a video on that. And then after that, I was just like, I'm done. I'm not going to marry or even pursue anybody until I know it's the Lord's will for me. And then I was 36 years old, got married. You can watch that video. So it's like I don't really have a lot of experience in that romantic breakup, but I would imagine the heartbreak is the same. It's a severed, broken relationship, you know? So what do? You just kind of have to move on with it. You know, you have to keep going with it, you know? And it is tough. It's very, very difficult. But let me tell you what will happen if you don't move on from it. You will go nowhere. And not only that, you will continually get probably worse, and depression will fill in, and you know, spirits will start to creep in and come in on you and take advantage of the fact that you're a believer who's just lying down like a dead carcass, and these demonic vultures will come in. Trust me now. These demonic vultures will come in and start to land on you and feed on you. They will start to fill your head with all kinds of crazy thoughts like suicide, murder, anger, bitterness, revenge, you know, crazy stuff like that, you know, just to try to get you. They're fishing, you know, they're throwing thoughts at you to try to see which one you'll bite on so you can go and run after that sinful action and try to fulfill it. Oh, you remember, I don't know how many of you guys have watched that movie, The Matrix? I know it's old by now, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And Trinity is running from one of the agents, and she does that crazy leap through the window, and she tumbles down the stairs, or I don't know if she tumbles down the stairs or not, but she pulls out her guns and she looks up and she's waiting. She's just lying on the floor with her guns pointed, waiting for this agent to come through the window so she can just start shooting. And what does she say to herself? She's like, get up, Trinity, get up. I was like, wow, that is such a real moment in life, because so many times we get chased down by things, by brokenheartedness, by the things that just crush us in life, and we're on the floor and we're ready to fight. But the problem is we're on the floor and we got our dukes up. And it's like, no, you need to get up and fight. You need to get up and move on. You know what I'm saying? You need to get up and keep going and moving on with life. But it hurts. I know, but keep moving. It's like, I don't know if I can do it. Yes, you can. You know, God has made you with the ability to get going, you know, and He will take care of you. He will mend your broken heart. So I hope that encourages you guys, and maybe this is just a quick little vitamin encouragement on your way, on the journey that you might already be on to inner healing, and or maybe this could kickstart something for you. I don't know where you're at, but I just hope above all things that this video was a blessing to you. So hope you guys will subscribe to the channel, and you can continue to watch this series. Leave me some likes and comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Be blessed, guys.